In our last lesson, we started adding users to our database via the app. We had a register page and we saw how the register route would add users to our database under the model nominated in the model, the accounts model, to the database. So we saw that. Now, if you haven't got your web server working, go ahead and start it up now. You know how to do this already. Use the terminal to navigate to your Jump Club folder and type nodemon into the terminal to start up the web server, and you'll then be able to hit localhost 3000 and the Jump Club app will start. I'm not logged in here at the moment. I want to show you now the users route. So if I just hit /users, I want to show you how these concepts just repeat. So I'll hit users here. And it's showed us a list of the users. I can't say this enough. These concepts just repeat and repeat. So once I'm going over them a few times so that you understand. I'm just firing up Visual Studio Code there. I'm going to open up my Jump Club folder and we're going to have a look at what happens. We'll close this other one. I'm going to look at what happens when we hit the users route. So do you remember what happens? Our app.js says, okay, what page are we after? Well, it says we're after the users page. It says so down here. It's /users. So when you hit user, oh, it's back up. Where is it? Here. On 92, when we hit the users page, use the users route. It's pretty easy. Where's the users route? Well, the users route is to be found in the routes folder under the file users. Great, so let's have a look what's happening in that file. These are the instructions for what happens when someone tries to hit the users page. And again, we get a route. Again, it's the same stuff. We're going to use these functions, so we're just going to tell them that they're required right here. When we've got a simple GET request, this is not when it's been posted from a form, but when someone just hits that page and asks us to get the page, well, when that happens, let's use some Mongoose functionality, which allows us to hit the database and find. So account.find is some Mongoose functionality that's going to just return all of the accounts in the database, in the accounts table. And publish those as an object called accounts that we can spin through and find all of those, so like a list of all of the users, and then send us on to the users page and send along with it those accounts. So get all the accounts, call them a list of accounts, and then take this list and pass it on to the users page. Great. So what's happening on the users page or the users view? That's over here. Well, it's pretty easy what's happening here. We extend the layout. Now you remember what happens when we extend a layout. It means that the layout file is loaded and then this is appended to that code. We've got some block content, which means all of the stuff in Pug that's going to be added to the layout. We add a container, which is just a component that contains, or it's a visual component. And in that container, for every account we find in the list, so for every account in the accounts list, just list for us, put a P tag, and then put down the user's name, the account.name. So the account, we're spinning through all of the accounts in the list, and for every account, we know there's a username and a password. So we just want to say, use the account.username from the database and print that on the page every time you find one. And that's, of course, exactly what we're seeing happen right here. So if I go to, let's register one more user. I'll go to a new page, actually. I'll go, let's stay on the users page. And as I go to the local host, go to the home page here and register another user. I'm going to register CC at cc.com. And I'm going to password CC. It's pretty easy and pretty repeatable. I'm going to register that user. It tells me, welcomes me back in here, cc at cc.com, offers me the chance to log out. And if I refresh this page, because it's added another user to the database, and the code here is saying, go through all of the accounts in the database, telling me the username of each one in a list. Because it's doing that, I'll see that user added to the list. It's easy. It's repeating concepts. We tell the app.js, when you hit this page, do this stuff. When you hit this page, do this stuff. And then each time we visit the thing that says do this stuff, which in this case was users.js, we see, well, when we get a get route, all we want to do is get all of the accounts in the database, make them into a list and send them on to the view. And when we hit the view, the users view, we can see again, it's very easy what it's doing here. It's just saying, you will pass through a list of accounts. So for every account you find, this is the accounts list, for every account you find in there, just print out the account's username, and you'll find that at account.username.